Okay, so this part of the video is going to show how we can put together the practical piece of work from this RE session. So last assignment, I asked you to write down words Mary might be feeling at the 3 different significant events during this Holy Week. And we looked at the triumphant arrival into Jerusalem, we looked at the trial and crucifixion, and then the resurrection. And you were then asked to sort of kind of plot that onto a graph. So when emotions were extremely happy, then the graph line would be really high. And when emotions were really raw and miserable and despair, then the line in the graph would then sink to the bottom. So the idea of that was to give you some sort of basis for this part here. What I'm going to ask you to do is to, first of all, split your piece of paper into 3, like I've done here. So I folded mine over and I've got it split into 3 equal parts. So the first part is going to be about Jesus arriving in Jerusalem. The second part will be the trial or his crucifixion. And then the third part here will be the resurrection. And what I want you to do is, first of all, on each part, is to write a sentence at the top. You're going to have to pretend to be Mary, Jesus' mother. And you're going to have to write a sentence using the first person and in past tense, thinking about what she might say at that point. So on this page here, as Jesus enters Jerusalem, what might she say at the top? It might be, I was so proud that day, or I was so proud but a little bit worried about what might happen. And it can be as simple as that. On this page, right at the top here, is another sentence writing as Mary. What might she say during the trial? What might she say during Jesus' crucifixion? I was heartbroken. It can be as simple as that, the sentence. Or I was heartbroken. My eyes were full of tears. I could not stop crying and sobbing. I felt betrayed by what had happened. You can develop it to more complex like that. And then finally, on this last section here, then you are to write a sentence about Jesus' resurrection. He's brought back to life. She goes to the tomb, expects to find her son dead, but instead finds nothing there, and she is told that he is risen, he's moving around, he's alive, he is back. So everything she thought she had lost, she's now got back. And so it can be as simple as, I was overjoyed. My faith was restored. And you can make it as complex or as simple as you want, using those skills that we picked up in literacy on compound and more complex sentences. It's an excellent opportunity to apply that here. So once you've done those 3 sentences at the top, what are you going to fill the rest of the page up with? Well, here's where you can use your art skills. On this first one, can you draw a picture that would represent what was happening when Jesus came into Jerusalem? You could draw a picture of palm leaves going onto the floor, quite simply. You wouldn't have to draw any people or anything like that, but just that symbol. Or you could try and draw someone on the back of the donkey, or maybe buildings using 1-point perspective with people outside, making that trail of palm leaves and cloaks on the floor. Here, what would you want to choose as your picture right in the middle, which represents the crucifixion and the trial? Would you want to draw the 3 crosses on the hill with the 2 thieves and robbers either side of Jesus with him in the middle? Perhaps a sunset behind. So the crosses are black. You wouldn't even have to draw the people then, but just see that as a silhouette. And then over here, you could just simply have the tomb opened. So the tomb would be rock cut. That means you'd have a hole cut into a cliff face, a rock, and then a large boulder is put in front of it. So you could have that boulder rolled away. The opening of the cave open, exposed, and maybe kind of glorious rays of colour coming from that to represent the special event that is happening. So you'd see that page with 3 very nice drawings. Take your time over them. There's no rush. Think about what you want to put in. And remember, if you're not very good at drawing people, you don't have to. You can draw them as I've suggested in different ways. Right. Good luck with this. I look forward to seeing what you produce.